Hello everyone and welcome to yet another video on my YouTube channel Mr. B Does Electronics. So today we'll be building this Bluetooth boombox with an attached subwoofer and this mesmerizing WS2812B LED panel which is also music reactive. So I hope all of you are really excited for this one. This was in a long time making and it took a lot of effort. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into the video. So this is how the front looks of the party boombox as a whole setup. As you can see, in the front I am using a WS2812B LED panel of 8x32 matrix and a voltage meter up top, and just behind it there are three knobs of volume, bass and treble, and just below it I am using this Active Subwoofer box from which I am taking the cabinet itself as well as the woofer speaker, but the amplifier I am using is a TPA3116D2 subwoofer amplifier with a sub preamp inbuilt. So this is how it looks from the back side. I know it's looking a bit dirty, but I intend to paint on it. So there are a lot of ports on the back side which I will be explaining in the video further ahead. And this is the subwoofer and how it hooks up to the back, and the on off switch is also visible on the back which cuts off the power. This is a 12 volt in plus out port. When the whole system is turned on in the on position of the switch, this gives out 12 volt which is then passed on to the subwoofer which is also running on a 12 volt subwoofer amplifier. And when this whole system is turned off, that is the connection to the battery is off, you can actually give 12 volt to this input and the whole battery system is isolated completely from this and it will directly power the amplifier. So this is the charging port. This is another 12 volt barrel connector for the battery. This is used for only charging purpose, directly connected to the battery circuit management board. And below that, as you can see, there are two RCA jacks, left and right. As you can see over here, these are directly connected to the input of this small TPA3116 board which is inside there, if you can see. So this also has dual purposes. What I mean by that is that there is a small Bluetooth receiver board stuck behind this amplifier over here. So when that is on, this RCA jacks are serving as the output which is the input to the subwoofer. So that is how I have connected it, and when you don't want to use the Bluetooth module with the amplifier, you can actually give audio in through these ports and it will just go on and play with this amplifier by these two speakers, but the subwoofer can't be connected. Panel up there, this is an SP107E, as you can see over here the model. It is written LED music controller. This is a rather costly controller, but it makes up with all the animations. There are I think 400 total animations including music reactive ones. This has a microphone inbuilt to it which I am using right now, but if you don't want to use that, actually it also has a headphone jack. Excellent module if you can justify the price. Along with the price of this LED panel over here, these two are the most costliest items or components of this build. And as you can see over here, this LED panel is as beautiful as it looks. This is a 32x8 LED panel made up of WS2812B LEDs which are individually addressable. This single panel will cost you around close to 1500 to 2000 rupees. So as I told earlier, this and the music controller are the two most costliest component of this build. So this is the subwoofer that I am using. Actually this is an old, as you can see over here, Active Subwoofer. So what I am doing is I am taking the cabinet which is already a built one this is a ported cabinet, as you can see over here, along with this subwoofer speaker that they had. The amplifier actually didn't work, so what I did, I took the speaker, the cabinet, and I just threw in a TPA3116D2 subwoofer amplifier board. This is also a really costly board. So this is how the back panel looks. As you can see, I am using the original creative back panel where the previous amplifier was mounted, and I am using the same base level hole to adjust the bass knob for the TPA3116 amplifier board. And all the other ports, as you can see, have been glued off, and a cardboard has been stuck behind it to make it totally sealed. So let's just dive right into it. I have already opened this. Let me just pull it out. And this is the subwoofer amplifier that I'm talking about. Let me just put some light onto it. As you can see how I have stuck it on there, mainly with hot glue. As you can see, this is a 3PA3116D2, which is working in bridged mode, if I'm not wrong, with both the left and the right channel going to a single subwoofer channel, which is over here written out. This is the 12 volt in port, and this is the audio in port. So what I've done here is, if you can see, two wires are exiting the subwoofer cabinet. So one is for the 12 volt and the other is the audio in. So this is how the amplifier looks. Let me just close it up right now and tell you all about why those wires are hanging out like that. So basically, this is the audio in for the subwoofer amplifier, which is routed through this cable, this one, and the other one is connected to this end, which I am using as a power input. The middle pin is positive and the outer is negative. Both of these go to the ports on the back that I showed earlier on the Boombox. And this is how the whole back end looks. Ignored the open hole. I am keeping it to show you people the wiring within this video. I'll be covering that up. This is the audio in, as I already explained earlier, for the subwoofer amplifier over there. And this is the power input for the subwoofer amplifier. So why I didn't hardwire them? So that I can just unlock it from these little attachments that I used. There is also one here. Unscrew them by hand. They are just hand tightened, and just take away the Boombox if I want to make it ultra portable. So that is why. Let me just show you up close about the latching system that I came up with. So this is basically the latching system. It is nothing out of the ordinary or something special. It's just a nut which is coming from within the subwoofer amplifier box, poking up top with hot glue to seal it all up. And there is this metal aluminium angle which just attaches that metal DIY base plate attached to the Boombox to that of the subwoofer amplifier. So minimum I am using three, one over here, one over here, and one on the front, as I showed, all with the same method. I know it's not elegant and not good to look at, but this is the simplest way that I can come up with. So let's start by addressing this voltmeter. As you can see, it has its own button. It is rather bright. Let me adjust. It also shows the percentage, but it is not quite accurate, so I rather go by the voltage. So when it is at 9 volt, the battery cuts off, and if it is 12.4 volts, it's fully charged. So I wanted this voltmeter to show me the charging or the voltage that it has reached while charging the battery also, rather than being like this only on battery power. So what I did is I connected this parallelly to the battery terminal directly. So what this does is always gives me the accurate voltage of the battery during charging and also while it's working on battery. And as the voltmeter is connected directly to the battery, it will show the voltage no matter if this is on or off. So that is why I chose this voltmeter, because it has its own on-off switch which can work independently to the system. So basically this is the company whose charger I am using, as well as the battery pack. So it has a handy little LED over here which is red while it's charging and green when it has finished charging. So this is a CCCV charger, constant current, constant voltage charger. So this is exactly perfect for charging lithium ion, I previously used a 12 volt normal power supply. It just blew up, and the battery management of the BMS also smoked, but the battery were okay, so I had to reorder a BMS and wired them up carefully next time. And I just ordered this charger. This is rather costly, but it is a necessary one, so I will recommend each and every one of you who are trying to attempt to build such a project using 12 volt lithium ion to order this type of charger, CCCV charger. This amplifier has individual treble and bass control, which is very much required for this small type of car speakers. Individual bass and treble control is very much required. If you give it full bass, it will crackle and the sound, it won't sound good. And that is why there is also a 2.1 board for TPA3116D2. I didn't choose that because you can't adjust the bass and the treble for the two left and right channel, and that is why I went with this amplifier and separately a subwoofer amplifier. So I hope all of you really enjoyed this video. If so, don't forget to like, share and comment on this video. Subscribe to my channel because this is a fairly new channel and I need all of your support. And during this time of pandemic, which is again relapsing, I just wanted to say to stay safe, mask up, use sanitizer and stay indoor as far as possible. So meet you on the next video. Until then, peace.